Hey there, and welcome to the Traveling Homesteader in Gyroscope Farm. Today, I'm on my way to another field trip, and I'm kind of excited about this one. So today, I actually had a choice of two different fiber festivals, one in Scioto, Oregon, and one in Redmond, Oregon. And both sounded really cool, but I ended up I'm going to the one in Scioto because it's just a little bit closer. And so instead of going about 2 hours away, I'm going about an hour and a half away. So, with that in mind, today, the Fat Lamb Fiber Festival is what it's called in Scioto, Oregon. Sounded pretty interesting to me because what they decided to do was not only involve the school, they're having it at a local elementary school, which they're going to include a lot of fiber artists who do a lot of different things, but they're also incorporating other activities throughout the town, and so that people can get really engaged. And so one of the other events that's happening today in Scioto is a sheep herding dog, or I don't know that they call it sheep herding dogs, but they're having a working trials for dogs that herd animals. And so I'm going to try to check into that as well. And hopefully I'll be able to share with you guys some of the different things that I see and give you an idea about kind of why fiber animals are kind of cool and how you can actually get into a bit of a niche market by going to some of these events. Now, these cottage industry events or cottage industry jobs, you might say, can be done right from your very own home, which is part of what interests me as of late, is to be able to do the things on my farm that I want to do, but then be able to market directly to people who are interested in this case, fiber, or doing knitting, doing felting, doing spinning, weaving, working with animals of just about any nature, goats, alpacas, sheep, Angora rabbits, various different animals that can be found at some of these different sort of crafting, or not necessarily crafting fairs, but it's a specific fiber fair. And so that's what we're going to go look at today. So let's go have some fun checking out what we're going to see. So now that I've arrived at the Fat Lamb Fiber Show, it's kind of fun. It's a little bit small, but it's really kind of fun. And first thing I walk in and I meet somebody, this nice lady, Christina, who's actually I met through when I was taking my weaving class at the Eugene Textile Center. And so she's here with this fun project of making basically, and I can have her explain it better, but basically an underwater scene out of yarn and fiber. So I'm going to switch it over to her for a minute so she can tell us a little bit more. So what do we have here at your table?
So we have pieces for the Pacific Northwest Community Coral Reef Project.
Awesome.
And what this is it's going to be an installation. Our first one's going to be in Lincoln City at the Cultural Center in September of 2023.
Fun.
And then we're going to have another installation in Salem at the Willamette Heritage Center in 2024.
Sweet.
And what it is people from all over the world are creating corals and creatures, and we're going to have a room-sized coral reef. And so really what it is to highlight the health of our oceans. So we'll have healthy corals, we'll have bleached corals, we'll have pieces made out of plastic to talk about plastic in the ocean. But yeah, anybody that does knitting, spinning, crocheting, weaving, felting, any fiber person is welcome to create a piece and put it in the reef. And people can just go to my website if they want some free patterns, or you can just create something out of your own head. And
Sweet. And what is your website?
www.coralknitfiberarts.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you for meeting up with me here and just being so nice to share.
And it was so fun to actually see a face that I know.
Yeah, isn't that kind of fun to see? You get around enough, you get to see some people.
Yeah. It's great to see you.
Nice to see you too.
All right.
So one last look at her fun coral reef that she has already. This is actually pretty awesome because it ends up having different parts. Like there's a piece over here that is felted, but there's things that are crocheted and things that are knit, and it's just really kind of fun to have all these different fiber items that, especially for a project like helping people know about the ocean and how to help our ocean from a land animal or animals. And so, if you want to get a chance to see this, this is part of their information on their project. And again, this is all that they have that are going to be happening for their 2 shows. So I was able to speak with Chris and Nicole Rickard of Celestial Farms, who offer these wonderful handcrafted products for fiber, but it wasn't fiber. In this case, they offered these fine crafted wooden products for different tools that you could use for spinning, weaving, carding, all that sort of good things, along with other body care products like soaps and deodorants that allowed people to use, and even lotions on hands that could be used so that you could spin and knit it a little bit easier. And each of their products was just really well crafted and handcrafted to a quality that I really appreciated. And that's something that you like, that I think most people like to see in these sorts of products. And I'd certainly love to buy some of their products in the future. So next at this nice festival, I've met up with these nice ladies who are with the Driftwood Farms Yarn and Candle Company, or LLC, I should say properly. But in talking with these nice ladies, they have some pretty cool items that they decided to make. It sounds as though they kind of fell into the situation because they already started enjoying doing it before. So let's have them kind of explain a little bit more about what they do. So what made you decide to get into fiber and candle making?
Well, I've been a knitter for a long, long time. And I have a lot of grandchildren, and I just wanted to knit something for them. But I didn't like any of the yarn I could find. I just didn't like any of the yarn. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So I decided to try dyeing yarn so I could have the colors that I wanted to knit for the kids. And so I just decided to try dyeing yarn, and now I have a shop.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you find that you enjoy having your own business versus going to work for somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we made a little bit more money.
Come support them. I'll give their information down below.
And this thing of if you have your own business, you can work whenever you want. That's not really true. You have to work all the time. But we love it.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, we really do.
Well, would you like to show us some of what you have?
Sure. We have lots of different bases of yarn. So we have silk yarns. We have these are a mohair merino combo. We have, this is a yak. It's beautiful yarn.
Fun. That's a nice color, too.
Yeah, it makes great socks. When you get yak, it's gray. So this is yak. And this color here is the natural color of the yarn.
Oh, wow.
So when you dye it, you get like almost a heathery.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty. We have Pulver's yarns, we have tweeds, we have cashmere yarns on the other side there. So we have a lot of different bases of yarn and a lot of different sizes of yarn.
Awesome.
So you can knit with or crochet, however you want to, with just about anything that we have.
Awesome.
And then Jess dyes all the fiber, the roving for spinning. And we only have a few different kinds of roving right now. We've got some Gotland, and we have some Targhee, Superwash Merino, and Panda Top. So those are fun. Panda Top is bamboo.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and then these are Jess's candles that she made. And right now, we've only got about 7 dozen. We usually have about 20 dozen different candles, and she's got all kinds of different scents, but these are probably my favorites. She's got, it starts with West Coast, and we live on the beach in Oregon.
Awesome.
And so she's got candles named after several different local beaches: Face Rock, Simpson Reef, Seven Devils. And they all have kind of a nice ozone-y, clean, beachy smell. I really love those.
And you had mentioned earlier how, like, what they're made with. And
They're 100% soy wax, and they're all clean burning oils, and there's no metal in the wicks.
Awesome.
So they're in a tin, but you don't get any burn off of the tin. And so they're all clean burning, and if you tend to get headaches and stuff from petroleum-based candles, that doesn't happen with these.
This is an awesome smell, and it was. I think I grabbed the Zen Garden.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that is an awesome smell.
This is a really nice one. This is rose petal gelato, and it's not too. It's kind of rosy and creamy, but not like a lot of rose candles.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we have this is a really big seller. This is Fireball.
Oh, nice.
And this is cinnamon and whiskey. Now, you either like this candle or you've had a really bad experience with Fireball and you don't like this candle.
Now I have to see this one because it's mansplaining.
Oh, mansplaining. So we have mansplaining.
Oh, very manly.
Yeah, we have mansplaining, man bun.
Oh, nice.
Here's man bun, Old Spice, and hipster lumberjack.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got a candle company with some humor.
Yeah, we try and have a little bit of humor. We have one called Dark Forest is probably our best seller. And my granddaughter came up with that one a couple of years ago, and we sell out of that one all the time. And then she came up with one called Loch Ness Monster that people really like.
Speaking of Loch Ness, did you hear that there's now an official thing for 2022 running, not marathon, but in Eugene they're having the running trials?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Guess what the mascot is?
Is it a Nessie?
It's not Nessie.
I know. Sasquatch.
Sasquatch, yes.
Yes.
It's Sasquatch.
We are in the Pacific Northwest. My husband and I laugh all the time because he works in the woods, and he has since he was a kid, like 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I said, when are you going to run across a Bigfoot? You know, 'cause they're supposed to be out there.
So one last thing that I wanted to feature that you said that your daughter did was this.
Oh, yeah.
So why did Jess decide to start doing the knitting with the beads?
Well, there's a lady that comes to our shop, and she uses a lot of beads in her knitting. She's made some gorgeous things with beads. And Jess really liked the way that it looked, and so they decided to knit this shawl together.
Awesome.
Kathy's is knit in a pink lace weight. Jess's is knit in a light fingering weight.
Okay, cool.
And
really
Kathy's beads are a little bit smaller than Jess's, so it's got a little bit different look to it. But this one turned out really beautiful.
Awesome, yeah.
And when you pick up a shawl with beads in it, it's got weight in it, so it falls in a different way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for chatting
you.
with me.
You bet.
And is it okay that we put your information down below?
Yeah.
Bonus points.
Yeah. Come see us. We're in Reedsport.
Yeah, forget the Reedsport. Come see this nice lady with her daughter. And her daughter didn't want to be on
Camera,
a
but
camera.
she's
But
right
guess
there.
what? She's right there. And this nice lady's even buying. But yeah, so come check them out at Driftwood Farms and Yarn and Candle. And if you can, I'm looking at the at the address right now. It's 485 Fir Avenue, Reedsport, Oregon.
Yeah, right on the beach, you guys.
Come to the beach in Oregon. It's fun. So I was able to also speak with Jodie Remitz of Cedar Creek Farm and Fiber. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet up with her to chat with her on camera, but she had some beautiful fleeces from her flock, and there was a specific flock type of sheep that I hadn't heard of before, but it was really an interesting breed, and I thought, I'd really like to try that out for spinning. So hopefully one day we'll try. So I've just met up with these two nice ladies here with Loose Ends Fiber Works, and I actually think they have a really cool story. So you had mentioned about you left Oregon and you came back and wanted to raise your kids on a small farm or in the country. So how did you then get into raising sheep?
Well, I had sheep as a kid in 4-H,
Yeah.
so I knew basically how to do it. They were small enough animals that it's not too much work to take care of them. If you have cows and things go south, it's a lot different from having a sheep and things go south. And then I got interested in spinning and weaving when I lived on the Navajo reservation for a couple of years. And so we started raising black sheep, which was unusual at that time in the early 70s. but I got a foundation flock of white ewes from my neighbor, Morris Culver, who was a prominent Romney breeder, and he had a black ram, and so these ewes had one black gene, which is recessive, but then I bred them back, and eventually we developed a flock that was, has a gradation of colors. If you look over there at those fleeces, there's a range from white to silver.
Sweet.
I love your guys' logos.
Oh, thank you.
So you said this was the second year coming back to this festival?
Yeah.
And what other festivals do you like to go to?
Well, the Black Sheep Gathering is our favorite. I was actually one of the founders of the Black
Awesome.
Sheep Gathering, and I got into carding and processing wool because my friend Sasha Jones, who actually started the Black Sheep newsletter,
Sweet.
sadly became ill, and so she had to close her business, and she sold her equipment to me, and that was how I got started processing.
Sweet. Well, I hope that we'll see you at the Black Sheep, because I know that's coming up next month, right?
Yep, we'll be there.
Sweet.
Yep, yeah.
And there's this nice person too that just showed up. So I'm going to show you some of the things. I'm going to show you some of the things that these nice ladies have for sale, and you need to check them out. And I'm going to put their information down below so you can check them out online. And if you can come to the Black Sheep and see them in June, they'll be there. And thank you so much for all your help.
Oh, thank you. It's nice chatting with you. Well, it's a long story.
So there were a few other vendors that I didn't get a chance to talk to the owners, but they had really wonderful products. And this Fat Lamb Fiber Festival was really rather pleasant to go to. And this was the kind of the start of the season, as you heard that there's going to be the Black Sheep Gathering in June, and then there's Oregon Flock and Fiber in the fall, along with others throughout the year in the United States. These sorts of fiber festivals really are a fun place to go to kind of see what's available to you and to others for a variety of products relating to fiber. And so if you get the chance to go visit any of these, please take that opportunity. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button on the Traveling Homesteader and check out our other site at gyroscopefarm.com. And thanks again for stopping by.